Good morning. It's Bob, Dennis Murray. I'm chuckling because I did something stupid just a minute ago, and there's nothing you can do about it but laugh. Okay, um, so this morning we're going to talk more about the gift of necessity, and in particular about the psychological specialization that Jung discovered about 100 years ago when he wrote something called Psychological Type. Uh, some say he should have won a Nobel for that. But regardless, the thing about these psychological skills is they're not the same as job skills. So a guy is skilled, as we talked about yesterday. Uh, you may be a skilled blacksmith or a skilled farmer, a skilled plumber. Um, you may work in Ford's assembly plant with some aspect of the engine or some aspect of the design of the next year's models. Those are job skills. And we're all familiar with the division that exists and contributes to our thriving as a species. Um, but there's this other subtlety that I think is very important for us to appreciate. We have an extra gift we hadn't really seen in those terms. And seeing the full panoply of our gifts has a lot to do with first knowing what you've been given and what you owe thanks for, and also what you have available to use as a way of living your thanks, the most sincere thanks that you can offer is to use the gifts, to live the gifts. And so this psychological skills that we're talking about applies to all forms of work as well as our family life and our personal life. Um, but it very much strengthens and supports our need for each other in order to get things done. So, in approaching life in general, the first thing that needs to happen is we have to perceive. We have to look around at the world and try to figure out what is this that's coming down the road towards me. Oh, well, it only has one headlight. Is it a truck with a light burned out, or is it a motorcycle? Um, it's straddling the middle of the road. I sure, etc. So you have to perceive, and you then need to take action. You need to make some decisions. Um, Much of life involves dealing with each other, and decisions are called for. Uh, your child is about to walk into the street, your little one. Your your daughter is in tears over something one of her fellow 12-year-old girls said to her yesterday. Things have to be done. You have to act. First, you perceive, then you act. You make decisions and you carry them out. So, perceiving, here's the psychological skill involved. One is just what are the facts? You know, my wife, Gail, was very, very, okay, I'm going to stop there, is, uh, it's for another day for me to talk about Gail. Um, Her dementia has overwhelmed her, and she lives in a memory care unit. Um, Next month, we'll celebrate our 59th anniversary. Uh, there's a lot of good, sweet stuff there, and some sorrow. We're going to pass that. My wife, Gail, is amazingly gifted with facts. Um, she'll walk through a living room and she'll come away and she can talk about how the lamp went beautifully with the fabric on the sofa and the little small decorative items on the end tables were very charming, and the coffee table and the end tables complement each other and were very interesting. And something about the curtains and the drapes and the color schemes. I walk through the same place and I see living room. So she sees the facts and I see how the facts might go together. So I actually didn't really notice much about the facts. I just saw their grouping. And as a result, I have a skill that she doesn't have into any large degree. Um, and she has a skill that I don't have to any large degree. And I very much, aside from loving her deeply, um, I very much admired the skill she had that I didn't have. And she had a lot of common sense to go with it, which I also didn't have. And thank goodness I was able to figure out how to get a little and how to respect what she has. So this facility, this psychological skill that I'm speaking of, just this one part of it, perceiving. There's several different aspects to how one perceives. You see the facts well, or you see how the facts might go together well. Uh, Jung referred to that person like Gail who sees the facts well as sensing, and people like me who see how facts go together as intuitives. Um, I'm kind of extremely intuitive, which has caused me a certain amount of problems in practical areas of life. Um, but it also has made me able to think philosophically and to read and study most of my life about these larger questions and represent Jung's ideas in a different form that may be more useful to everyday life. Um, Reading Jung, he's a little deep, and when I tell you that somebody's a little deep, you got to believe me. it's it's a lot of work. So I'm kind of trying to bring it into real life. So this part of perceiving is part of these skills. We want both skills. We can't have both skills. We're typically only skilled at one or the other. Um, thank goodness we have each other. So we get the benefit of both skills in a highly advanced state. When Gail and I worked together on things, and I was helpful in her business interests. My capacity for seeing how things go together was very useful, and her capacity for facts was very useful. We wouldn't wanted to have done without either one. And the only way we could have both was to be in relation. And so that's true both in family life and in business life. So tomorrow we'll talk more about the gift of necessity, including in particular the other thing we do in life, judging in the several ways that we do that. Okay, thanks. That's enough for today. Bye bye.